My name is Bobby Cook. I grew up in Hutchinson and moved to Wichita after high school. Wasn't really progressing career-wise like I thought I would, just from hard work, and that's what made me go back to school. It was just my lack of education was stopping me. Well, I learned quite a bit. I think obviously the first thing I learned was go back to school. You know, it was better late than never. I also wish I would have just taken the advice and that I got in high school, and I wish I was just more focused on my career in high school instead of waiting until after I graduate. But then once I started getting back into school, I just realized how important it was just to kind of keep going, and because I took a lot of breaks with my education and it made it take a lot longer to graduate. So in the end, I learned just to kind of keep pushing and, you know, reach out when you need help. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I mean, there's resources out there. You just have to know where to look and who to ask.
So an Alpha Sigma Lambda Sigma Iota member, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain that to someone who is outside of the university and basically outside of adult learning, what that is?
It's an honor society for returning adult students that are in the top 10%, or I don't know what it is, of their class, but that's what it is.
And we have a lot of our adult learners at Wichita State. I think once they come back, they're more focused and they're able to get those grades. Would you agree with that?
I would definitely agree. I think I was a lot more focused than I would have been just coming straight out of high school. And also I had that work experience before going into college, and so that made a big difference also, because I was able to leverage that just to build relationships with my instructors and just with my classmates, and it also helped me gain internships a lot easier. I was pretty excited because I always wanted to go to school, but I was also really nervous just because it's a bigger university, things are a lot more serious, but also it made me realize I need to buckle down, study harder, and figure out what I want to do career-wise. That was my first fear, was that the courses would be a lot tougher, and then just trying to figure out how I would balance that with my personal life, like as far as work. When I was going to Butler, I was just taking classes part-time and working full-time, but once I came to Wichita State, I buckled down and switched my major to business management, and then I just had to start working part-time and really focus on my education more. I didn't meet all my goals. I think grade-wise I met all my goals. There's a couple of classes I really struggled with. Like, I've never really been good at math. I had to retake college algebra.
How did you handle that? I mean, what was that? Because I feel like most of us that have gone through college and have gotten those degrees.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's tough. How do you handle those? I know I cried a lot.
I was pretty stressed out, but I just made sure that I was going to every class. I got a tutor, and I just kept pushing. In the end, I mean, I passed, but I didn't. I guess I was just being hard on myself because of the rest of my grades in my other classes, and I was trying to compare it to the rest of the classes I was taking when it was a completely different subject.
So how did you measure your success throughout this time?
I bragged a lot to my family.
As you should. Did they ever get? Did they ever get tired of your bragging, or?
No, I mean, I guess the only thing I had to keep in mind was just not to try and be like, you know, throwing it in their faces, but more just like my dad. He lives in Hutch, but we still talk on the phone, you know, several times a week, and so I'd update him on my classes, like what classes I'm taking, and just like projects I'm working on, my grades, and just some of my struggles, some of my successes. So I think that's something else that's important, is just finding mentors and just finding, you know, people you can talk to, like the Office of Adult Learning, Professional Edge, that's a great program that really helped me out a lot. Career Services, they helped me out a lot as far as like building a resume and how to interview and things like that. I just think that that's part of the experience of, you know, graduating. Don't just get the grades and a degree, but you have to work on yourself professionally also. I'm brand new to the industry that I'm in because of the role that I got at Textron Aviation and supply chain. So I'm new to aviation, but I'm also new to supply chain. So I'm just really trying to build up my knowledge in aviation, but also in supply chain. And who knows, it might take me in a completely different direction within the company outside of supply chain, but I do want to continue my education as far as getting a master's degree. So I don't know if that would be either with an MBA or a master's in supply chain, or I'm still undecided on that, but I'll be applying for graduate school for next year. Stay motivated because I just had to keep remembering why I decided to go to college, which was to, you know, gain more of a career and not just a job, and more advancement opportunities, and just be able to provide for myself better and just reach more of my goals. So I had to keep a lot of those goals in mind, and I also figured that if I'm gonna sacrifice my personal life and just all this time, and I'm gonna take advantage of it, I want to learn as much as I can and just get the best grades possible. I just didn't want to waste this whole experience. I didn't know what I wanted to go to school for, and I didn't know how to balance the personal time, you know, because I don't have kids or anything, but a lot of returning adult students, you know, they might be married with kids and working full-time jobs, and you just have to find a way to do it. You don't have to know what you want to go to school for in the beginning. You know, there's resources and departments at Wichita State that can help you figure that out. You know, just start taking a few classes, take some introductory classes and something you're interested in. I mean, if you end up not majoring in that, you know, it's a good open elective, and just kind of, you just got to get your feet wet.